Ever had one of those batteries that reads perfectly fine on your multimeter, but the second you ask it to do any work real, it just dies? Yeah, it's a super frustrating problem, and it's a total headache for anyone running a solar or off-grid power system. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these hidden failures and show you exactly how to find them, and fast.
And this right here, this is the heart of the mystery, isn't it? You put a multimeter on the terminals, it reads a beautiful 12.6 volts, you think you're golden. But then you go to fire up your inverter or maybe a starter motor, and boom, the whole system just collapses. Now this isn't just a weak battery, oh no. This could be a single, sneaky, faulty cell sabotaging the entire bank.
So that brings us to this whole idea of the hidden failure. It's the reason why that simple voltage check, the one we've all learned to trust, can be so incredibly deceptive. See, a battery just sitting there can hide a fatal flaw, one that only rears its ugly head when it's way too late.
And check this out. This really shows you the two-faced nature of a failing battery. Over on the left, when it's at rest, everything looks fantastic. But the second you put it to work, you get the reality check on the right. The voltage just tanks, and that hidden damage is suddenly out in the open. This is exactly why a simple voltage check just doesn't cut it. You have to do a load test to get the real story.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial point. We have to move beyond just seeing the problem and start, actually diagnosing it. A lot of people just stop at that surface level, but we're going to go deeper. We want to understand the why behind the failure.
You've probably seen this a dozen times on YouTube, right? Somebody hooks up a multimeter, they crank an engine, and they point to the voltage drop and go, "See? Bad battery." And look, while it's true that a voltage sag does mean there's a problem, this kind of test is really more of a party trick than a proper diagnosis. It doesn't tell you how bad the damage is or what's actually causing it.
And that leads to a really important question, one that almost nobody brings up in those quick little demo videos. What are the dangers that are lurking just beneath the surface of these improvised, uncontrolled tests? Because, let me tell you, when you're playing with this much power, what you don't know can absolutely hurt you.
So here's the deal, and you need to take this seriously. Pulling over 100 amps is no joke. You're looking at a genuine risk of an arc flash. That's a blinding, explosive burst of energy. Cables that aren't sized for that kind of current can overheat in seconds, literally melting their insulation. You could even make the damage inside the battery worse. Using these uncontrolled loads, it's just plain dangerous.
All right, let's get to the heart of it. To do this safely and, more importantly, accurately, we have to understand the science first. We need to look at the real electrical principle that's causing that voltage sag to happen in the first place.
And the one concept that explains everything is something called internal resistance. The easiest way to think about it is like electrical friction right inside the battery. Now, every single battery has some of this, even brand new ones. But as a battery gets older or when a cell gets damaged, that internal resistance goes way, way up. It is the single best indicator of a battery's true health. And this little formula? This is the key to everything. It's basically Ohm's law, but we're applying it right to our battery. The voltage drop, that's the sag we're seeing, is simply the current you're pulling multiplied by that internal resistance. This formula is our secret weapon, our diagnostic key. It shows us that even a tiny bit of resistance becomes a massive problem when the current gets high.
So let's put some real numbers on this. A nice healthy battery might have an internal resistance of, say, 0.005 ohms. Now, under a 100 amp load, that gives you a tiny, totally predictable half a volt drop. No big deal, right? But a failing battery, maybe with just one bad cell, could have a resistance of 0.02 ohms. Now that same 100 amp load causes a massive 2 volt drop. That's it. That's the catastrophic collapse we've been hunting for.
Okay, so enough theory. Now that we get it, let's move on to the practical side of things. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to perform a controlled, quantifiable 100 amp load test so you can get a real diagnosis.
All right, here we go. It's a 5-step process for a proper controlled load test. Just take your time with it. Step 1 is easy. Measure the battery's resting voltage. Step 2, apply a known 100 amp load. Then, step 3, you measure the voltage again, right at that moment while the load is still on. Step 4 is just some quick math. Figure out the voltage drop. And finally, step 5, interpret that number to get your answer.
And this is basically how you read the results. A small, predictable drop, like that half volt we calculated, that means you've got a healthy battery. A moderate drop tells you the battery's getting on in years, and its internal resistance is starting to creep up. But a big, sudden drop, anything getting close to 2 volts or even more, that tells you there's some seriously high internal resistance. You've probably just found your failing cell.
So, now that you know how to do the test, we need to talk about the single most important part of this whole thing: safety. A 100 amp load test is an unbelievably powerful diagnostic tool, but listen to me, it is not a toy. The amount of energy we are dealing with here can be incredibly dangerous if you don't handle it with respect.
I really want this slide to sink in. I'm not being dramatic here. We are talking about energy levels that can cause serious, life-altering injury or start major fires. You absolutely have to take the proper precautions.
Let's be crystal clear about the risks. Cables that aren't rated for this can get red hot in just a couple of seconds. A slightly loose connection can create a violent arc, a plasma flash that is literally hotter than the surface of the sun. If you accidentally drop a wrench across the terminals, it won't just spark, it can instantly weld itself in place, creating a dead short. This is not a procedure you can be casual about.
So here it is. This is your non-negotiable safety checklist. You must use cables rated for well over 100 amps. You must install a fuse or a breaker in the line for protection. All of your connections have to be tight and clean to stop them from arcing. And, this should go without saying, but never ever touch exposed conductors while the system is under load. If you are even slightly unsure about any of this, please do not perform this test.
So the big takeaway today is this. We've got to reframe how we think about voltage sag. It's not just some frustrating symptom of a bigger problem. When you measure it correctly, and when you do it safely, it becomes a powerful diagnostic tool. It is a direct window into the chemical and physical health of your battery.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you know how to look beyond the surface voltage, how to actually measure instead of just guess, and most importantly, how to do it all safely, what is your battery's real health report going to say?